This is Ellie, and we're talking today about the conservative Cardinals. They want to oust out Pope Francis, but I'm telling you they won't be able to because the Tilma of Guadalupe shows that Pope Francis will be the Pope that will endure the warning. And how do I know this? Because I found angels at his head, as I show in my new book called Mark of Antichrist. And the angels at his head mean a triumph over the schism, a triumph over the evil of sodomy and abortion being promoted in the church. So this Pope will endure the warning, and he will be the one. So on the week of Benedict XVI's death, I was looking at this hooked hand, which looked just like Benedict's. For some reason, I was drawn to believe it was Benedict's hand. It looks like a corpse, the hand of a dead person. So I looked up a painting, and I found this hand on this painting that was done in Rome recently of Benedict XVI, which it was even in the same shape as this hooked hand that you see there on the tilma. And it looked exactly as the painted hand of Benedict. So on the week of his death, I was looking at this hand, and then suddenly he died. It was amazing, and the accuracy of the Tilma of Guadalupe is amazing. But this hooked hand represents the coming of the Syrian Antichrist, because the hook is a symbol of the Syriac number 6. That's how they write the number 6 in the shape of a hook. So what this means is after the death of Benedict XVI, which happened right at the beginning of 2023, because 2023 represents also our ascent to the age of the Antichrist, which will be, I believe, several, even maybe possibly 55 years ahead of us through this age of Antichrist until Jesus returns and the New Jerusalem comes, which will be for those who opposed the mark of the Antichrist, and they died for their faith, or they were in a refuge place, and Jesus will bring those that died and opposed the Antichrist back to life, and then they will enjoy 1,000 years of peace with Jesus. And then after those 1,000 years, according to the book of Revelation, the other ones are brought back to life, and that's called the first resurrection. So on the Tilma of Guadalupe, it shows Pope Francis symbolized as Saint Francis, and there are angels at his head, which symbolize the warning and the triumph of good over evil and over the schism, as you can see there. Now on the Tilma of Guadalupe, it shows Jesus carrying the cross there on the right, just the wood, the beam. He didn't carry the full horizontal and vertical aspect of the cross, just the beam. And he's carrying it, and you can see on the other side a man under that St. Francis figure, which represents Pope Francis, with his head carrying the other part of the wood, because there's going to be persecution that's going to come. Jesus is going west because there's going to be persecution coming to the west to wake up the dead church, the church that is no longer alive but has become lukewarm. So here I've kind of pointed out the different figures of the coming, that's what's happening in the Church of the Schism. You can see the wood broken apart. The wood beam is not connecting to the other part of the wood. It's called the schism. We have the angelic Pope holding up the other part of the broken church with his head. We have the figure of St. Francis who represents Pope Francis with angels at his head, and we have Jesus' cross going west. So if you'd like to get my new book, I have the ebook available for $2.99. It's really, really cheap. You can read it for free on KDP. And I also have the hardback and the paperback. They're a little bit more expensive because this is like over a 200-page book of everything, all the pictures I got from the Tilma of Guadalupe, 3D pictures of the end times, of what we're going to go through. This is the most accurate account that you can find on the internet because it comes from Our Lady of Guadalupe. And no one understands the book of Revelation except Mary, the Mother of God. People don't understand that you can't understand this book without the Tilma of Guadalupe. There are symbols. There are embedded 3D pictures in the Tilma of Guadalupe that are meant for us to understand, which God has allowed me to. And this book will help you to understand what is coming in our future. God bless.